Welcome to another edition of the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Earnest, EJ Christian, coming to you alongside the wrestling savants, of course, Mike, the Squid Bernier.
I have more heel heat than 10 Brock Lesnar German suplexes in a Royal Rumble
match. And the real Joe Lopez on Twitter at you know what, never mind. You guys are actually in the same spot right now as we're recording this podcast.
Yes, that is right. We are talking to you from sunny Oakland, California.
Oof, Oakland.
I've been to Oakland before.
They just lost their team, the football team.
It lives up to the hype.
No, I know. I'm saying that they're in mourning too. They lost their football team. So
I mean, did they though? I mean, that stadium's a shithole.
It is a shithole. It really is a shithole. Yeah, that's so true.
I saw an athletics game there last season, and the one thing I'll say about it is the only baseball stadium I've ever been in where the hot dogs were only like $5.
Well, this has been a really rough day to say the least. I'm sure everybody living on the rock at this point. Kobe Bryant passed away today at the age of 41. Him and his daughter Gigi, age 13, in a helicopter crash that happened this morning, about I think 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. It's been a rough day for a lot of people who follow sports, pop culture, maybe. It was really cool seeing WWE tonight during Rumble give a nice little tribute to Kobe during the telecast, and a really good show, to be honest with you. I'll tell you, the first couple hours, I was really concerned whether I'd be able to do the show because I was so shocked. And Joe, I saw you to that Target. Number one, Mike, I don't need to tell you that. But yeah, I went to Target with my boys today. Well, when I got back to the car with my sons, my sister sent me a text with an article saying that Kobe had passed, and I wasn't sure if that was real. So I called one of my contacts in LA who covers the Lakers and stuff, and he made me close to the situation, and he got back to me and said, "Yeah, it's true."
Wow.
And I was so stunned at the news that I had to pull over the car for a couple minutes because I was shaking. Because I was just shocking to see Kobe Bryant dead. Like that's not supposed to be at 41 years old anyway, especially. So I got home today. My day went to shit pretty much, and I was I had plans to watch Worlds Collide when I got home with the boys. Didn't do that at all. I was questioning whether to watch Royal Rumble tonight. I was not in the mood, and even the show I was like, oh my god, should I even do the show tonight? But I was like, you know what? Let's just press on. And I gotta be honest with you, the Royal Rumble really took my mind off the whole defense. They really did a good job of that, honestly.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree completely.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Mike? I mean, obviously you're a big sports guy like myself, and you watch the NBA. Maybe not as much as I do, but you're still plugged in and whatnot. Any words you want to share?
I mean, when you look at the life and time of Kobe Bryant on this, big rocket ship that we like to call planet Earth, there's a lot of things that you take back and you think about Kobe, the demeanor on the court, the things that he would say and do, being a Celtics fan. He was easy to root against. He always found a way to tune it up in those Lakers-Celtics games, the finals. But it's one of those things where when it was all said and done, Kobe deserves his recognition of being one of the top 4 or 5 greatest basketball players of all time. But we didn't just lose Kobe, the athlete. We lost Kobe, the father. We lost Kobe, the inspirational figure that had a lot of generational people. That was the guy that they grew up. A lot of eras have their guys. In football, it's I want to be like Tom Brady. I want to be like Lamar Jackson. Kids are going to see Lamar play now, and that's who they're going to want to be. A lot of basketball fans, they wanted to be Kobe. Shooting water bottles in school, yelling Kobe after you shot it. Things like that. It's the things like that, and your thoughts. The situation occurred. They lost 9 total people in that situation. They lost a top flight JUCO collegiate baseball coach, his kid, and his wife. We lost Kobe and his daughter, and we lost a couple of other unannounced people in this horrific accident. And I think that's the thing that everyone's got to take back from this situation is, as much as we hold athletes to this higher standard, they're human beings. Mm-hmm. And they have to go through the same fight that we do every day, from sickness to bills to life-altering decisions. And it's one of those situations where I don't know if there's proper words to put into this. Just know that from a Celtic fan, Kobe, I give you the floor. I enjoyed watching you play. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for you. I never got the privilege of seeing you play in person. It's one of those things that I wish I would have been able to cross off my bucket list. Whether you know him as 24, whether you know him as 8, whether you know him as Mamba, whether you know him as Kobe, whether you know him as a 2-time American gold medalist, he was an inspirational figure to many inside many different facets. The thoughts and prayers of myself and all of us here go to Bryant, his family, the extended Laker family, in this very, very devastating time.
Especially his family and his wife, Vanessa. My God, I can't even imagine what she's going through right now. Joe, anything you want to say?
No, I think you guys covered it all very well. It's a very sad story, and I'm not, obviously I know who he is because he's one of those people that you don't need to be a fan of sports to know Kobe Bryant as a name, and I think that's one of the reasons why this is resonating so much with so many people because, he's just this is the level of anyone really famous passing away. Everyone kind of you have that moment of like, wow, he was only 41. You have that moment, and obviously, like Mike said too, there were 8 other people on that helicopter, and it's a really sad day for everyone involved. I mean, there were young lives lost. There were, it's very sad. The whole thing's very sad.
Yeah, it really is. And I think for me also, I'll wrap it up real quick because I know this is a wrestling podcast, but the fact that, Mike, and you can relate, especially as parents, not just Kobe Bryant, then you have Kobe Bryant and his daughter. And there's an extra layer of sadness there now, too. So that's what really gutted me more than anything else is hearing his daughter, who was, by the way, trying to become a basketball player herself. They were actually on the way to an academy. She's very involved in playing basketball and whatnot, and that just gutted me when I heard the news that she was on the helicopter as well.
Yeah, I heard the news. I was at my baseball game because I played a men's league down here, and one of our other guys, we were in the dugout, and I just heard him yell "fuck," and I was coaching first base, and I thought he got stung by a bee or something, and he told us the news, and my last at bat before the game ended, I got out, walked back to the dugout, and as I was walking back, the guy who said that says, I guess this is probably the best time to tell you because at the time the news was reporting that all of Kobe's kids were on the plane with them.
Right. And
I kind of just stopped and just kind of dropped my bat and almost took my helmet off and like puked because I was just like, I don't know how you tell another parent, and again, this is I don't know who this gentleman is. I've never met him. But as a oh my God, as a parent thing, it almost shook me to my core of it. And I mean, honestly, the only thing I think that probably saved me was as I'm getting in the car, I saw a report that they were pulling all the kids, and it was like there may have been one, but there may have not have been any. And I'm like, if it's one, it's still a super tragic event, but it's not like he lost, his wife lost everything. Right. She still has a drive and a motivation to have kids to build that legacy upon. Right? I mean, there's no real easy way to go through this. Right. There's no real contingency plan of, oh, I lost a loved one like this. This is how I mourned it. Everybody's going to do this differently. And I think the thing right now, especially if you're a Laker fan, especially if you're a Kobe fan, especially if you're a basketball fan in general, or a sports fan, whatever you want to term it as. I mean, basically at this point, if you live in that California area and you see his wife there, just let her know that you're thinking about her, and let her know that you support her, and that that she has those open and available windows and channels to ask for help, because I think that's what she's going to need right now is the ability to go to her friends and her family and say, I need help, because it's going to be a rough couple months.
Right. Well, like I said, there's no other better way to segue to what we do here on the Take Wrestling Podcast. But again, as Mike and Joe said, and myself, our thoughts and prayers go to Vanessa, the 3 girls, the family, the fans of Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. And again, this is is really sad, but we got to move on now. So thank you again, Kobe Bryant, for wonderful career and whatnot. Okay, so as I said, we'll get to the takes immediately. Royal Rumble just ended about a little under an hour ago. The show went later than usual. At least I believe it went later than usual. Every pay-per-view I've watched in the last year has ended about 10 at the latest 10:30,
11:50.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, as I was saying on the top of the show, one of the things today being such a sad day is that the WWE really did a good job of taking my mind off of the reality of today. So for 3.5 hours, I was sucked into a really good show tonight. So, boys, let's recap it. Mike, we're on the matches now? How do you want to do this?
It's one of our topics?
Yeah, it's my topic.
Oh, okay.
I sacrificed.
Jump right
Yeah,
into
you
it.
did. Yeah.
I sacrificed my topic.
Head first into the pool?
Yeah. While I'm looking up the total lineup card, again, currently watching a match from 1989 that includes the Red Rooster and the Black Widow.
Oh, no.
That's his name, right?
Oh, no.
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker.
Oh, Widowmaker, right.
For the record, I would just like to point out my theory that in one of the alternate universes that exists, one of the multiverse, Red Rooster, Terry Taylor became Ric Flair, for the record, and that's the thing, and his daughter is currently dating Andrade, and just won the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, wait, spoiler alerts for all the fans who haven't watched the show yet that aren't listening.
They're about to be spoiled anyway.
Yeah, whatever. I'm going to preface this with myself and Joe did not watch the pre-show.
Neither did I.
So I'm going to skim through those matches. Sheamus kicked off Shorty G's head in 12 minutes and 35 seconds.
Oh, that went that long?
Andrade retains the United States title over Humberto Carrillo.
Okay.
14 minutes and 20 seconds. Main card starts Falls Count Anywhere. Roman Reigns defeats King Corbin. I like that they went all over the ballpark here. Mm-hmm. I like that they did some things. I like the fact that one of the Uso brothers hit a 6 splash off that platform. Negative I have of this match, they were over by the dugout and nobody banged a trash can, so I didn't know the fastball was coming. Kind of horseshit.
That's great. It's great. If you guys don't know, obviously the Rumble was at Houston. The Astros play there. The Astros cheating scandal. You do the math, guys.
I told Joe the minute that I saw him walk by the dugout, I was like, if he hits him with a trash can, I'm going to mark harder than a 3-year-old.
Wow.
So, yeah, I would have loved for that to occur.
Me too.
I like this match. It was well paced out. Good start to the show. I felt like they had a shot here that they could have hit a home run or they could have grounded out weakly to the second baseman. I feel like they hit a double here. Yeah. So, I felt like it was a good start to the show.
I loved it. I loved the match. I thought it was cool. I agree. The double. I agree. It wasn't the greatest match, but it was a good opener to kick things off. It led you also thinking, okay, now with that being the first match, and you knew both guys were going to be in the Rumble as well too. What could happen because it was so early? So
correct. Joseph?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was there.
I feel like it's one of those matches where if you were at the show, it was probably not the most exciting thing because you couldn't see it. But watching it at home on TV, it was kind of fun. So,
yeah, I feel like that would be a little bit of an annoyance trying to watch that on a big screen whenever you pay out.
Yeah,
I think you mentioned last night too during our draft, which by the way we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Those kind of matches don't really do well in person.
They don't. Yeah, I've been to enough live wrestling shows and WrestleManias and stuff, and anytime the action's not in the ring, unless you're lucky enough to be sitting in a section, and this goes for indie shows too. I've been to the gauntlet of shows, and anytime the action's not in the ring, it's like if you go to a concert and Lionel Richie isn't singing on the stage, he's singing in the third row to a pretty girl. Like if you're sitting in the bleachers or you're sitting in the 10th row, it's not doing much for you. You can hear him, but and wrestling's not even a concert, so you can't even hear it. So,
yeah, I agree.
Right.
That's the thing that annoys me the most. Almost as much as what annoyed me was the Women's Royal Rumble. I like the match itself. Don't like the end. Charlotte Flair wins the 2020 Royal Rumble, 54 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay, So, I like to play a game when the Royal Rumble's going on, and Joe can attest to this. It's called How Bad is WWE Going to Botch Their Entrance Times? So, I started a clock at the buzzer. As soon as the next buzzer went off, I created a lap. There was multiple intervals inside this Women's Royal Rumble where guys were coming out at like 2.5 minutes. Or women were coming out at 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
90 seconds. Get it together, boys.
Is it including the down the aisle before the ring?
Yes.
Okay.
From horn to horn.
Horn to
Not Craig. Not Craig Horn.
Yeah, right.
And all the ships at sea.
Yes. Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair started it off. Those two actually worked really well together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I said to Mike at one point, it felt like they were doing the '95 Rumble with Alexa doing. Okay, wait. I got to explain all of this. It felt like they were doing the '95 Rumble with Alexa in the Shawn Michaels role and Bianca in the Davey Boy role.
Is that because of her hair?
And yes, let's just go with that. And I was hoping that that they were gonna get to the final two. And I said to Mike, I explained out my whole theory, and I'm really sad it didn't happen. I wanted them to do the exact same finish, only when Alexa goes over the top rope and skins the cat, it's not that 1 foot touches, that no feet touch because she's like 4'8". That would have been amazing.
I would have marked out for that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Bianca.
Really?
Bianca.
That was your reaction to that great segue?
I think one thing's also the Rumble too. I like, and obviously we'll break through the rest of the whole thing, but Bianca Belair got a lot of attention. This she definitely got over it with the crowd.
Bianca was the MVP of that match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She was the QVC of PhD of EST of NXT, something like that. Whatever.
She never needed to do it all.
Nope.
She's
Okay, so Lana comes out at 5. Gets eliminated 2 spots later by Liv Morgan, and then eliminates Liv. I called that one. That was pretty. I actually liked Liv in that little spot where she came out. She came out pissed off, fired off. I liked it. Big fan. Mandy Rose gets saved by Otis.
That was fun.
That was cool. Later on in the match, her and Sonya get eliminated. Where she gets knocked into Otis after Otis catches Mandy. This is going to go somewhere. I don't know which way we're getting there, but we're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai never die. She came in, kicked people's faces off. That was pretty cool.
I mean, it probably took more time for her to get her hair done than being in the Rumble, but I'm okay with that.
Chelsea Green made her.
She looked good.
Is she from NXT UK? Where's she from?
No, NXT.
No, she's a regular NXT now.
Okay, I've never seen her before. That's what I'm saying.
She's only wrestled 2 matches on main event, and I don't think she's wrestled a match on NXT. I think she's literally just
showing up on NXT so far.
With Robert Stone.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair comes out at my favorite number, 17.
Yeah.
She wins the Rumble. The next entry is a return. It is the return of Naomi.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 19 was Beth Phoenix, the NXT commentator. She got her head split open the hard way,
and
I told Joe exactly where it happened. At a spot where her and Bianca are on the top rope, you hear you don't see it on the camera, but you hear the thud. I think they were battling, and I think she banged the back of her head off of one of the LED corners and split her head open the hard way. That kind of sucks because at one point it looked like half her hair was blonde, the other half was blood red.
Yeah.
NXT UK's Toni Storm.
She looked good.
She looked really good in this match.
You know who looked good? Naomi looked good.
Yes.
Homegirl came back looking like she lost some weight. She got her hair did, got her nails
and her
done.
booty looks nice. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, but her hair looked good and her nails look good. I mean,
Afro Samurai.
Listen to me and Joan doing spectrums. Hair look good, booty. Nails look good, booty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We're definitely looking at different things.
She's been hurt, right, all this time?
I think so.
I think she took. I think she took a mental sabbatical as well. I know when Oos got arrested and all that stuff happened, she went out about the same time. So I think that played a role in it as well. Other notable entries: newly signed Shotzi Blackheart of NXT. She came in at 26. Tegan Nox made her debut at 28. Santina Marella.
That was so funny.
Gives the Cobra eliminates himself. That was actually probably the funniest elimination of the whole night.
That was
interesting. Absolutely.
And then finally, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, comes in at 30. She gets eliminated by Charlotte. Shayna eliminates 8. Bianca eliminates 8. They both have the record for most female eliminations in a single Royal Rumble. Notable stat here, 11 members of the NXT female roster, not including Toni Storm, who's on the UK brand. So 11 from the North American brand of NXT were in this match.
And wow. NXT, again, another NXT dominated pay-per-view here. Presence has been felt again.
I wouldn't say pay-per-view. I'd say match. Definitely match.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm just meaning in terms of their presence being felt in yes. I mean, where they're featured, which is only in the Rumble anyway. So,
all right. So we go from a 54-minute Women's Royal Rumble to a 9-minute and 20-second WWE SmackDown Women's Championship match between the champion Bayley and Lacey Evans. I'm going to try to say this as nicely as I can.
Go ahead.
I didn't really pay attention to this match because it was there.
I mean, I liked it. First of all, I'm all here for Bayley's whole look. Like, Bayley wants to speak to your manager, and you really should just let her.
Karen.
Yes. I like Lacey Evans. I enjoyed the little interaction with her daughter in the front row. Her daughter had more character than half the AEW women's roster.
Fact.
So, like, it was entertaining. It wasn't the greatest match. It's kind of forgettable, but, you know, on a show that had as many things going on as this one did, you were going to have some forgettable matches. And honestly, it was only probably the only one that was actually really forgettable.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And, it was still a solid match too. It was
right,
like
exactly.
You know, did his job. You know, like it is what it is. I'm a little surprised at the ending. I thought maybe it'd be some little more Gaga involved, but Bayley get a clean win. I mean,
well, I mean, the real alarming thing here, was, especially after the Women's Royal Rumble, was that Sasha wasn't in that match. So I didn't think Sasha was going to be there at all.
Right.
Because why would you have her be in Houston and then not really do anything?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so that match, 9 minutes, 20 seconds. Then we transition to the WWE Universal Championship. The Fiend Bray Wyatt retains over Daniel Bryan in a strap match. Okay. There were parts of this match that I really, really liked. And then the ending happened, and it kind of killed it for me. I love the build up to getting to the finish. Bryan with the knee, hitting the label lock with the strap. All of it was really cool. And then Bray hits him with like a choke slam while doing the mandible claw and pins him in like 7 seconds. Like it didn't even have the mandible claw like locked in, and like Bryan just died.
Yeah, I can see why you're annoyed by that. I can totally see that. I mean, I didn't point out in that same way when I saw it, but I can see why now looking back and thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I can see why you'd be annoyed by that.
I mean, for a match that was going as well as that match was, it was really just a flat finish that kind of took the wind out of how good that match actually was.
Right.
I think that's the thing that annoys me more than anything else, is because those two guys were having a really, really good match, and it's just like, oh, there's the ending somehow.
And Daniel Bryan looks good in the end, even when he's losing his match. It still looks pretty good because he fought literally, and gave everything he had. And the Fiend is just the Fiend right now. He's just the top guy.
It was probably one of the best Fiend matches. And can we all celebrate the death of the Red Light of Doom?
Thank you.
God.
Thank you. Mentioned it.
The highlight of that match.
I think this proves that Bray Wyatt can indeed wrestle without having that stuff there for him. You know, honestly, I was very impressed.
We've all known that Bray could go without.
Well, because the thing is, Bray Wyatt is in and of himself a ton of pop and circumstance.
Yeah,
he's got the mask, he's got the music, he got the cool entrance.
He's got his own customized title.
Right. Like, look, there's a reason why he's like a modern day Undertaker. And you know what they never gave Undertaker in the years when he was really big?
Mm-hmm.
No, a damn like blue light or something during his matches. Like that, you just don't need that. Like that's too much extra. Like sometimes the salad is good without all the extra dressing.
What, you don't like the random blue lights the Undertaker wrestled with for 4 years?
When did that happen? What?
I don't know.
That was not a thing.
Might have been.
That was not a thing.
Maybe it's entry. I remember wrestling.
No one was stupid enough to think about it.
Kane maybe is about it. With Red, that's about it.
Yeah, that only happened for once or twice.
I don't think during his entrance. It wasn't even during a match.
Shawn Michaels looks very happy in this match.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
I did.
Wow.
I think he might be on drugs.
I was still 89.
Yeah. We're watching old school prime time wrestling.
I mean, he was just excited to be there.
Yeah, me. Okay, let's transition before we get way off the topic here.
Before we start talking too much about Shawn Michaels' penis, look at that thing.
Wow.
You would do that.
That thing just did a 5-star frog splash by itself. Shawn Michaels was on the other side of the ring.
All right.
Back to you, Gorilla.
Okay. Co-main event of the evening: Raw Women's Championship match. 16 minutes, 25 seconds. The champion Becky Lynch retains over Asuka. I like that the green mist finally blew up in Asuka's face.
Yeah.
Literally blew up in her face.
Yes.
Got him. Lynch with the disarm her. All I'll say out of this match is, dear Lord, please do not give me Becky Lynch versus fucking Charlotte at WrestleMania. I will scream bloody murder.
Me too.
I mean, yeah, I would rather see Charlotte versus Bayley if I had to choose. If that's the reality.
Oh, great! My son's awake. Keep talking, guys.
Oh, okay, cool. Good story.
I'll mute this real quick.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to believe in another Charlotte versus Becky match.
Well, I'll say one thing, and I apparently forgot to say this during the Women's Rumble match recap. I don't know where my mind was. I wasn't paying attention, apparently.
I think you're saying a text.
Oh, okay. That sounds like me. I am, I'm okay with Charlotte having won. I really wanted Shayna to win for obvious reasons. If you listened to last week, you heard us. We all picked Shayna, and she came close. They gave her a great, 2-minute run in the match. She should have won. But the thing is, Charlotte being Charlotte deserves a Rumble win. So I'm sort of happy that she finally got a Rumble win. I shouldn't say finally. It's only been 3. But, right. No, I'm glad that she got it because she deserved it. But I also sort of wish that she didn't get it because, this wasn't the right year for her to win it. There was more potential to do something else there.
It felt like a checkmark moment for her more than anything else.
Exactly. And honestly, I want to say, it's hard to say, right? Because, you never know what life throws at you. So, it's easy to be she could have just won next year, but you don't know that she could have won next year. So maybe it's cool that they gave her moment while they could give her her moment, but let's, like you just said, I don't want to see her versus Becky at Mania. Give me something else. Give me her versus Bayley. They haven't fought together at Mania. She's, Charlotte's fought all the other 4 horsewomen at Mania. Give her Bayley. Let's do it.
Time me up. All right, so let's transition now. Main event of the evening, men's Royal Rumble match, 1 hour and 50 seconds. And we got this one right, gentlemen. The Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre will be going to WrestleMania for a world title match, his first ever WWE world title or universal title match. Last eliminating the big dog, Roman Reigns. Interesting stat here. Brock Lesnar came in at number 1. Eliminated 13 souls, including 4 guys in a row in under 2 minutes. Elias comes out at number 2 singing a song. Interesting stat. Joe wasn't in here for this, or interesting thing that happened. Brock Lesnar almost destroyed his own quad trying to get out of the ring to get to Elias. And I was like, how bad would that have been if he would have gotten hurt right there? In a meaningless Royal Rumble match that he really shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
Number 3, Eric Rowan. I hated the fact that he was only in the ring for 8 seconds.
But then you see, the way it played out, you can see why. The way it played out in the first 20 minutes, you see why it was that way.
It was fun too.
No.
It was different, but it was fun.
Me and Joe absolutely said that. We're it makes sense. But a guy of Eric Rowan's size and stature, you could have had him throw out Dolph Ziggler.
I agree.
Or Ricochet.
Swap the 2 guys, yeah. In the order of...
you have a big guy like Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan could have been the first guy that actually gave him some fits. Not, let me counter a clothesline, out of the ring.
But let's all take a moment to celebrate the whole little run from when Kofi got in the ring, and then Ray, and then that was awesome. I marked out so much for all of that.
It felt like 2 different matches, though. He had the first 30 minutes of Brock, just being Brock and eliminating each guy individually, and then you have once Drew gets there and everybody else, you have the actual Rumble. Like
actually, it really started to transition at 13 when Keith Lee came in.
Yes.
True.
Okay. Highlight of the Royal Rumble match, with the exception of Brock Lesnar's elimination, was Brock Lesnar dancing to MVP's theme song.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
That was awesome. Keith Lee starts the run of guys that give Brock a fit. Brock eliminates him and Strowman as they're going after each other. He is beating the absolute piss tar out of Ricochet when Drew McIntyre comes in. Ricochet hits Brock in the ding-ding. Drew with a Claymore, and we have the elimination of the WWE Champion, which is who I think Drew McIntyre is going to face at WrestleMania, and I believe is going to win the WWE Championship. Heard it here.
You can already see the seeds being planted. Like as you see the elimination and you see Drew like focusing on Lesnar even after he's eliminated for like 2-3 minutes, you can see the seeds being planted already. That this is gonna be his night.
Yeah. Well, me and Joe said that it was either gonna be him or Roman once Brock got eliminated.
Right, of course.
Look, all I can say is, in the last 3 weeks, we've literally watched Drew McIntyre become a main event star, just based on the booking and yeah, they literally this is the biggest example of strapping the rocket ship to someone and actually seeing it, actually like launch off into space and next stop is WrestleMania and he's gonna win the title. There's no way he's not gonna win.
He has to.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it from this standpoint. This is also probably legitimately the first time in WWE history that someone who was released on June 12th of 2014, goes to the Indies, gets rejuvenated again, comes back, and is going to main event the biggest show that the company has.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one else that I know of that WWE's like, man, let's give this guy another shot. And then they succeed.
Well, because the interesting thing with him, too, is, right, you know how WWE always seems to kind of be wary, and I know we live in a time now where it's not as much, and, guys like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan and guys like that have certainly broken the mold, but it still seems like WWE is quicker to push their own guys that they've built versus just pushing guys that have made their names elsewhere.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre is an interesting middle ground, like he's kind of both. You know, he is someone that WWE molded. He is someone they found. They brought him in as like a blue chipper. They tried to make him, his nickname back in like 2010 or so was the next big thing. So I mean,
no,
that was not. What was his nickname though? He was like the chosen one. Okay, close enough.
Wow,
I was close enough. I got his opponent at WrestleMania right. But they brought him in and he was the chosen one and all of that. So he's this guy that WWE kind of made from scratch, but then he also went out and became an indie sensation. And literally, honestly, I hated Drew McIntyre when he was first in WWE. And then I saw him on a couple of Evolve shows and I was like, holy shit, I'm in for this guy. And then he came back to WWE and now he's brought all that experience. I almost sort of think they need to do that more often. Get a guy on TV, build him from scratch a little bit and then let him go and excursion, build up a little bit outside and then come back. And I mean, Drew McIntyre is legitimately going to become one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling.
I agree.
He's Drew McIntyre whenever he got released had that slow, when he was the chosen one, he had that slow walk to the ring.
Yeah, slow style wrestling.
Really slow.
Yeah.
Now he's got this more up-tempo offense, and I think that's a big thing for him. And
I agree.
Like that. Shocking return at number 21, 9 years from his last match that me and Joe were in the Georgia Dome to see it. Edge comes back. Looked great. Part of the final three after eliminating Randy Orton. Big ups to him there. I like that Edge is back. I hope that we get a singles match from him at WrestleMania.
He looked great, too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He looked amazing. Although, well, credit to my brother for this one. My brother texted me during the show and was just like, Randy Orton looks 10 years younger standing next to Edge.
That's because of the facial hair, though.
He really did.
Yes.
King Corbin at 22. The original bro, Matt Riddle, at 23. Interesting stat here about Matt Riddle for you guys, and I was going to bring this up during the news segment when we started talking about Kobe. It was reported earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, Ryan Satan, or whatever you want to call him, Pro Wrestling Sheets, that Brock Lesnar and Matt Riddle had a heated verbal altercation.
Okay, I have a hard time believing that because Matt Riddle doesn't do verbal altercations. Matt Riddle says bro.
Bruh.
We saw a little bit of an altercation with
Goldberg
on that special.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Details are scarce at this time, but sources are telling us that Lesnar and Riddle passed each other while walking backstage in an intense encounter. One source says Brock saw Matt and wanted him to know the reality of the situation between them. Nothing physical happened. I guess it was pretty much a I don't like you, you don't like me, keep my name out of your mouth conversation, probably. So keep an eye on that, see if there's any kind of repercussions from that. Randy Orton at 25. Oh, let me go back and backtrack this real quick. Potential moment of bad things that happened in the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles looks like he hurt his shoulder. Taking that spear that Edge turned him inside out on. I could see the trainer talking to him, and then magically, like, he rolled in the ring, and, like, he, like, walked over to Edge, and it looked like he was getting ready to put him in, like, a headlock or something, and, like, whispered something to him, and the next thing you know, AJ was out of the ring, and, like, when he got eliminated, he immediately started grabbing his left shoulder, so that may be something that we need to keep an eye on, because that may throw a lump into the WrestleMania plan.
That's a good point.
Roman Reigns at 26, Owens at 27, Alistair at 28, Joe at 29, and then it was the birth.
I was at 29.
Joe was at 29.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh, I did good.
Yeah.
You drew a good number.
You lasted like final 5 or something.
How long in minutes? How many minutes did I last?
Probably like 7.
And that's better than my average. I'm good with that.
At number 30, Seth Rollins with his Monday Night Mercenaries. Yes, that's what I'm going to call them.
That's a great name.
It is.
I'm going to call them the Monday Night Mercenaries. Rollins with Akam Razor and Buddy Murphy all make their way to the ring. Owens and Joe go right after them. There's a little bit of a brawl. I told Joe I thought this was going to be like the Seth Rollins win where, like, he obviously uses those guys to avoid elimination. And it worked for a while until Joe, Owens, and Alistair were all eliminated. They wrestle those guys to the back, and then it's the remaining 4 guys of Edge, Orton, McIntyre, and Roman that all gang up on Rollins. McIntyre gets that elimination. Edge eliminates Randy Orton. Reigns eliminates Edge as both of them are standing on the apron, and then the big moment where Drew McIntyre hits Roman Reigns with a Claymore and then throws him over. And the winner of the 2020 Royal Rumble is the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre. I believe he is going to pick Brock Lesnar, and I believe that is going to be a great match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to the build-up with this. This is gonna be awesome, I think.
No, I can't wait. Drew McIntyre getting the push that he's getting right now has energized me so much. Honestly, the booking of this Rumble, and my again credit to my brother. I don't know if you're listening. Hi, Nick. Anyway, I didn't say Heimlich. I said hi, Nick. Hi. So next year in Jerusalem. So the booking of it, my brother suggested that he wondered if Heyman booked the Rumble, which would explain why it was a very Raw-heavy Rumble. But it would also explain why it was such a great Rumble. That was honestly one of the best Rumbles I think I've seen in a while. The story that they told, like you said, like it was almost like 2 different matches. You know, you had the whole Brock thing at the beginning. You kind of wondered how long they were going to push it for, and they pushed it pretty far. And then from there forward, you know, you had Edge's come back as a story. You had all the stuff with the Monday Night guys, like all of that. By the end of the match, like everyone in it, other than Roman and Edge, were all Raw guys, and all were working out like the feuds that we've been seeing every week on Raw. Like it was just so well done. Honestly, like I'm very excited by the whole thing right now.
All right, final interesting stats here. 2 members of NXT, 2 free agents. So that is 4 of the 30. So that's 26 names. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 12 members of SmackDown. I guess that's 14 members of Raw, and then the 4.
Yeah.
So we had 1 extra member of Raw compared to 1 member of SmackDown.
So it felt heavier
Very,
than that.
very interesting. The thing is, and here's the thing: a lot of the guys that Brock ran through were SmackDown guys, and then a lot of the guys at the back end of the lottery were all Raw guys.
Right.
Because you had Elias who's on SmackDown, Rude, Morrison, Kingston, Big E, Cesaro, and Nakamura.
Yeah.
All in the first 11 that Brock made last about 14 minutes total. The last two guys from SmackDown were Corbin at 22, Reigns at 26. That's why I felt like they could have done something a little bit different with a couple of those guys at the beginning, but they got the job done. Final prediction, winners. I went 5-2. Ernest went 5-2 because we had the exact same picks. Joe goes 4-3 because of the Lacey Evans not winning.
Damn it, Lacey.
Actually, Oscar too.
Damn it, Lacey.
But you got Roman Reigns, right?
I mean, yeah. I don't know if that feels good.
It was there.
It was there.
It's there.
Okay.
That's a great show.
We're probably way over time. So.
Did you even time this?
Nope. Didn't even start that
Oh my god.
I thought I did.
Please, we're 40 minutes into the first segment right now. Are you kidding me?
Hey, typical Monday Night Raw.
No, I was okay though. I actually figured that because there's no news really going on other than the Kobe stuff, that this deserves at least 20 minutes at least.
Okay.
So
let's transition. Who's up?
All right, Joe, it's you.
You want to do me or you want to do you?
No, you.
Rumble moments.
No, mine's well. I guess we can do that. Okay, in the moments.
Seems like a good transition.
Something I heard. This is Royal Rumble weekend. I wanted to just discuss, Rumbles in totality and pretty much just give us our 5 favorite, not best, as favorite moments in Royal Rumble history. It could be in the Rumble, it could be on the card. There's moments. It doesn't matter, whatever it may be. So here are my 5 favorite moments, and I'm only going to go based on what I saw. Obviously, like as I said, the last 17 years prior to this year, didn't really watch. Although I did watch 04 Rumble with you guys last night, so which was kind of fun. This is not in order, okay? This is not in order. This is just my 5 favorite moments, and I have more than this, though, but this is 5.
Y'all stealing my gimmick.
Here we go. Hulk Hogan, Andre Giant contract signing in '88. The bigness of that rematch. Now, at the time, the Rumble was actually on TV. It wasn't on pay-per-view. So, the Rumble was... The Rumble really felt like, at that time, felt like a formality, felt like a background thing. The Hogan Andre contract signing was actually bigger. Was actually pushed bigger than the actual Rumble. So that was huge, and the fact that how it went and Hogan's head slammed to the table, and Andre pushed it back. That was really good, really good theater. And obviously we couldn't realize 2 weeks later, Hogan loses the title for the first time in 4 years. So Hogan Andre contract signing was one for me. Rumble '89, the Mega Powers beefing. This is the one the seeds planted prior to them breaking up the month later. This was the first major incident that happened in the Mega Powers when Hogan eliminated both Bad News Brown and Macho Man, and it was Lee Hogan and Macho for like a minute and a half in the ring, beefing a little bit. Elizabeth comes down the aisle and they calm him down. All that, it was great. The Mega Powers, still Mega Powers, of course, but that's the last major thing that happened before they actually broke up 3 weeks later. Let me see here. The next moment here I have is the '90 Royal Rumble, Warrior Hogan showdown. You had to see this to believe it. You had to see this in real time. Like they didn't even announce the Warrior Hogan match yet at this point for Mania 6, but you felt that something was turning because obviously at that time the 2 biggest forces in wrestling were those 2 guys, and the bigness of that moment was tremendous. And of course we find out like weeks later that they end up booking that match for Mania 6, and of course Warrior wins that match. Rumble '91 for me. I love this moment because I'm not a Warrior guy. Macho King Randy Savage actually ruins Warrior's title reign by smashing Warrior in the head with a scepter. Sergeant Slaughter wins the title. I loved it, of course. Of course, I hated it 2 months later because Savage loses the match against his career match against Warrior at Mania 7. But in that moment, I loved it because obviously I'm a Macho Man Mark, so it doesn't matter. And finally, Rumble '99. I know this is something that cringy to watch today, given that we know about CTE and head injuries, or whatever. But at the time, I really loved The Rock and Mankind, and that I Quit match. I loved it. The psychology of it. the just the jokes that in there, The Rock being The Rock and whatnot, and then of course having the I Quit thing, the recording of Mankind's voice, the whole build up. Like that rivalry actually was such a great bridge to Austin Rock at Mania 15 that year. So I love that bridge of Mankind and The Rock and that little rivalry for those two months. That was really good. So those are my 5 favorite moments. I have a lot more, but I was going to put out 5. So go ahead.
No, you're up, Bert.
Why am
You're
I
totally up because you're up.
All right. I guess because I really don't have a list culminated.
Stealing my gimmick.
I am. I will list that I love the Cactus Jack versus Triple H match.
Oh, it's a great match.
They beat the shit out of each other.
What year is that?
2000. I said that if you were listening.
Couldn't hear.
Obviously you're not.
Couldn't hear.
That was a really good match. They beat the shit out of each other inside Madison Square Garden. There was like a pallet, some barbed wire, some thumbtacks. It was really good. I like that one. Next up, this one probably won't be a very good take for some people. But at the time that it happened, I thought it was one of the coolest moments in Rumble history. And that was Chris Benoit going the distance and winning from number 1. Again, it's not the greatest take, and I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or offend anyone. But I really did like that Rumble, all things considered, and I digress. Next up, Rey Mysterio winning from number 2 in remembrance of Eddie Guerrero coming out in the lowrider and doing it for Eddie, and then leading into the WrestleMania moment for Rey. I really liked that moment. I thought that was a really cool moment. I also have the Philadelphia crowd shitting on Roman Reigns after he won the Royal Rumble, because if they don't shit on him, we may not get the Seth Rollins cash in at WrestleMania.
True.
So props to all of you fans in Philly that shit on Roman Reigns winning the 2000 and what was that, 16? 15?
You're welcome. I was there.
Hey, thanks, bud.
You're welcome. I did it. Did it for you.
He did it for The Rock.
I did it for the people.
Yep, gotta love it. And last, I'm going to say it because it happened tonight. Drew McIntyre Claymore kicking the shit out of Brock Lesnar.
I like that.
That's all I got.
I like it.
All
right, I'll give you mine. Out of order.
I'll play along with your little game.
Out of order, no list, right? Let's see. Ooh, okay. So my favorite Rumble, like as an overall show, is probably the 2001 Rumble. And that's got that great Benoit and Jericho ladder match. I can actually just include that in and of itself, but it also had the storyline with Triple H and Austin, where Austin ruined Triple H's chance at winning the world title earlier in the night. So then Triple H tried to attack Austin during the Rumble and tried to ruin his chance of actually winning it. We obviously know he ends up going on to win it. It's just a really greatly built Rumble. It's a great storyline. It's a lot of fun. It's this is 2000 that you have on now.
I know.
That's 2001. He was a headbanger. What do you want? So I want to put. I'm gonna officially go with the whole Austin attacking Triple H to ruin his shot at winning the title / Triple H attacking Austin / the whole storyline with Austin winning that Rumble. I just think that was a lot of fun. So that's on my list. I'm also gonna go ahead and put the tables match from Royal Rumble 2000 on my list. Mainly because you already put the Mick Foley Triple H match, which is a superior match on that show, and great. But the tables match is one of the most fun. It's probably the most fun opener that the Royal Rumble has ever had. And not only the opener, I think it was the second match on the show. I think the opener was Taz's debut. But it's a really fun match, and it's one of those. It's another one of those matches that's like a precursor to the TLC matches that we would get later on in 2000 and 2001. So it was just a lot of fun. Let's see. Number 3, I don't remember what year this was. I want to say it was 2002. Might have been 2003. Whatever year the Hurricane came in and tried to double choke slam Austin and Triple H
that
at
was
the same
awesome.
time. That moment in and of itself was one of the best. like, you know, we get so many like haha funny moments in the Rumbles almost every year, and they don't always all succeed, but like that's one of those moments that was actually just a lot of fun, so I enjoyed that one. Let's see, what else? That's 3. I've been to 2 Rumbles live.
By the way, for the record, that was the 2002 Royal Rumble.
That was the 2002 Royal Rumble, which is another great Rumble. It's another one of my favorites. You know what? No list, actually. Let's be real here. I'm gonna give you my last 2, okay? As the eternal Shawn Michaels fan, I don't know how I don't include the 95 Rumble, him skinning the cat, getting back in, taking out Davey Boy, you know, having come in at number 1.
He's just a taller Alexa Bliss.
Like, he's a taller Alexa Bliss. That is, Shawn Michaels is a taller Alexa Bliss. That's my new favorite thing ever. That was one of those moments that like helped make Shawn Michaels into like a bona fide main eventer in WWF. And as a big fan of his, he's my favorite wrestler of all time, so I can't not include his big WrestleMania Royal Rumble moment. So that has to be there. And last but certainly not least, I'm gonna also have to put on here. I'm stalling because I forgot, and I totally had it in mind before I started talking about how awesome Shawn Michaels was.
Oscar, one of the first ever wins?
No. Oh God, no. No, Becky. No, Oscar won the first one.
Oscar did the
Yeah. Becky won the second one. You're right.
After losing to Oscar.
Well, yes.
I got my Oscar matches.
You got. It's okay. There's a lot of Oscar matches.
Nobody ready. Oh.
I really can't think of my last one. So like, we can go to this. Like, I'm just give that up right now because I'll think of it at some point and just randomly scream it in. But
For the Rock.
yeah, right. There's Royal Rumble is actually one of my favorite pay-per-views every year. I'm really happy that I've been to 2 of them now. I never in New York, ironically. Those tickets always sell out really fast when they've ever had it at the Garden. But it's one of my favorite pay-per-views. I've always really loved the Royal Rumble. I could go cheap and just throw like the 3-way Seth Rollins, John Cena, Brock Lesnar match on here because that's a great match from 2015's Rumble. But and Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit match from 2003 is another great goddamn match. Like, but honestly, there's just a lot of amazing moments.
Can I sidebar for the last 4
Of course.
Topic? Can we talk about how big of a dick Hulk Hogan was in '92 for being a bitch and eliminating Sid Justice after he got eliminated?
I've been saying for a long time, Matt, and I watched it again a couple days ago. That was perfect for a heel turn right there.
But the thing is, Hogan always acted like a heel.
But that was the worst. That was the most obvious one, though, of all. Though of all the heel turns, that was the worst obvious of all. Right there.
He used to literally beat up women.
I mean,
but everybody hated Scary Sherry, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay. Like, nobody likes... I don't know, name a woman that nobody likes.
Getting cheered.
Right. Like nobody likes Kim Kardashian that much, but I'm pretty sure if someone walked up to her and gave her a leg drop, everyone would still be like, yo, you're kind of a dick.
I am a real American. You are a prick, you motherfucker.
Oh my God.
All right, we know this topic?
Oh, wait, okay. I remember the one I wanted to mention before.
What was it?
Yeah, no. I remember it now. I don't know how you don't at least have in this list of great Royal Rumble moments at least an honorable mention for the time that John Cena and Batista messed up the finish of a Royal Rumble, and then Vince McMahon came down to the ring and blew out both of his quads while walking down to the ring to fix it.
That's right.
Huh? Do you know what year that? Have you seen that one?
I think it was 06, 05?
It was like 06 or 05. Yeah, it was definitely in that time frame. But it's like
2008.
Oh, 2008. Well,
no.
it's just funny. They tried to go for like the Bret Hart Lex Luger finish. Oh no. I guess they technically were trying to go more for like the
It was 05.
It was 05. They were trying to go more for like the Shawn Michaels Davey Boy Smith finish from 95, and they ended up working themselves or shooting themselves into the the Bret Hart Lex Luger finish from '94 with the added bonus of Vince McMahon blowing out both of his quads just walking down to the ring, which is when you know you're intensely walking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to at least mention that one, right? Like, that's an incredible moment.
Big moment.
Sidebar, hated the 2011 Royal Rumble because it was 40 men and Alberto Del Rio won. I hated the 40-man thing.
I gotta watch it one day. I'll watch it one day.
No, you won't.
I will.
All right, let's but I digress.
The last one, because it's getting late. So last topic of the night.
Late for who?
I gotta be up 6:30 in the morning, buddy. Thank you.
Jeez.
That's your fault.
I got kids. So next.
All right, Heath Slater.
I got kids.
That's you, Joe.
All right. So my topic for this week, and I had gone back and forth a little bit. I had originally thought about highlighting NWA. We'll still get to that at some point because I think they have a great product. So at some point I do want to discuss that with you guys. But we had two really awesome title changes happen this past Wednesday night. Wednesday night to me is still just like, I'm over the whole is AEW versus NXT better. I'm now down to that point where I'm just like, yay, let's celebrate the fact that we have 4 great hours of wrestling every Wednesday night and like just be fans about it. But it's still fun to like compare like, well, which ones are doing better and stuff like that. And this week on Wednesday night, it was kind of interesting to me because we had both the tag titles in AEW change hands and the North American title over on NXT change hands. So given how big both of those title changes are, I thought it'd be kind of fun to get your guys' opinion and see which title change do you think is more impactful? Which one do you think mattered more? Just which one do you like better even? Because I think they're both really big and really, different for different reasons. So what do you guys think? I'll give you my opinion after, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Which one do you think mattered more? Is Keith Lee winning the North American title, or is it Page and Omega winning those tag straps?
Ernest.
What do you think, Ernest?
I don't know if even Ernest is there.
Mike, what do you think?
All right, cool. I'm going to go with the AEW tag title change.
Interesting.
I love the fact that Keith Lee won the North American title, and I felt like he was going to be over huge, especially after his moments in the Royal Rumble match tonight. But I think from a storyline perspective, the title change in AEW with Omega and Page taking the belts will lead to an even bigger rift whenever the turn by one of them does occur. I'm going to say one of them because I don't know which one of them is actually going to turn at this point. Like, easy money is that it's Page, but part of me still thinks like it could be
Omega. Too obvious at this point, yeah.
He get fed up with Page being an alcoholic, which I still think is the most retarded thing that they're doing, but I digress. From a further down the road standpoint, I am going to probably lean towards the AEW tag title change. Now, the North American title, that's going to be a lot of fun because now that gives Keith Lee some interesting matchups. Guys like potentially Gargano and Ciampa, if they're not in the world title picture. Maybe the returning Velveteen Dream rematch against Roddy, Priest, and who was he feuding with there for a while?
Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne. Who was the other? Punishment Martinez.
That's Damian Priest.
No, there was one other one that was.
Killian Dane.
Yeah, I feel like those guys are going to have some fun matches for that belt. It also things other guys potentially. We didn't talk about it because we didn't talk about news, but maybe one of those guys that from UK brand could stay over. Maybe a Jordan Devlin now that he's the cruiserweight champion. He might have a fun match with Keith Lee, even though he's part of 205 Live or whatever you want to call it now. But I think for the more impactful on where they're going with it, I'm going to lean towards the tag title.
Okay.
What do you think, Ernest?
I'm going to go Keith Lee because I just think, obviously, you don't put the world title, the NXT title on him yet, but I wanted to see him with a title, period. And to me, like, getting a title off of, Undisputed Era, who has all the gold up to Wednesday, and have Keith Lee, take Roderick Strong's title. I think that is the first step of what we're seeing with Keith Lee being this big. Everybody says it's the next big thing. So getting a title on him, we'll see if he makes a title or Tom makes him and all that. This is the first big step towards that. It's kind of similar to, I don't know, like off the top of my head, I think about Ultimate Warrior when he got the first IC title. Because the North American title is kind of similar status, mid-quarter title.
Yes.
Putting a title on Keith Lee and giving it the slow build. Not just like, okay, just give him the whole world right now. He's still getting a slow build, And who knows what happens to Keith Lee in the coming year? Like, he may go to the main roster. Maybe he won't go to the main roster. Who knows? But putting something on him.
There is no more main roster.
Well, I agree with you 100%. But, but it starts with, it's what it's doing now is the title on Keith Lee is validating everything that's happened up to this point. And slowly building it. So, and I'm not saying that there's zero impact on the Omega Adam Page tag team titles, because certainly there's impact there, and certainly with a storyline being developed right now to who may turn on one or the other, who knows? But I don't know. Like, I'm an AEW mark, but I'm very invested in Keith Lee and what's going on with him and the slow build with it right now. And tonight too, even though he didn't last too long in the Rumble,
he looked like a superstar.
He got a nice pop tonight, and he got a lot of respect.
He looked like a main event
guy.
He belonged in there with Brock Lesnar.
There's this thing I say with quarterbacks, with rookie quarterbacks. You look. It's not so much about the stats out the gate. To me, it's about looking the part. Like, do you look like a guy that sell me into being a quarterback in the future, or whatever that may. Like Keith Lee, does he look like a guy that can mix up with anybody? Look at him against Brock Lesnar. He held his own. Against Braun Strowman, held his own. And to me, this belt is validating the slow build. That's why I'm leaning in Keith Lee in terms of more impactful one, because it's a start of something to come going forward.
Well, that's interesting, and me personally, my gut, I would go with the tag titles from AEW also as like the more impactful of the two. But I'm not gonna lie. Your argument just now, like, I see where you're coming from, because the thing is, and I think I can compare it, like, I think I can draw the line very easily, right? Yeah. The tag title change in AEW is very impactful and very big for a short term right now.
Right.
That's like Mike said before, like, that's propelling the storyline forward with Omega and Page, which honestly, in my opinion, is one of the best storylines in pro wrestling right now.
I agree.
Like, I love what they're doing with that. That tag title win is totally feeding into that and feeding into that storyline. At the end of the day, though, it's not like Omega and Page are probably going to end up being this, like, all-encompassing, amazing tag team that has, like, 3 title reigns under their belt and stuff like that. Like, this is going to be a one-and-done thing, and we're all expecting someone's going to turn on someone. Personally hope it's Kenny turning on Page, because I think Kenny makes a better heel, and I still think Page could make an amazing, like, just face for the company. And like give me Omega and the Bucks turning. Like, I want that personally. But like, their tag title win it's short term, but it is impactful and it makes a difference. But I think you're right with what you say about Keith Lee. I think that at the end of the day, especially if he has a really great title reign, if this isn't something where he loses the title in 2 weeks back to Strong or something like that, if he gets like a really decent run out of it, this could be that thing that we look back on and it's like, oh, hey, like, how Keith Lee is like this huge star today. Remember when he first had that North American title run back in 2020? Like, that could be a very big deal for him, for his career overall.
I agree.
As opposed, so, like, at the end of the day, yeah, that really could be the one that leaves more of an impact on wrestling as a whole and on, like, his career. And, like you said, like, a night like tonight and, like, at Survivor Series, and, I mean, especially to me, like, tonight, I mean, if you don't know that Keith Lee is one day going to win the world title at WrestleMania, then I don't know, like, what you're not paying attention to.
I don't know who's had a better 4-month run than Keith Lee.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
From the end of Survivor Series to tonight, I don't know who's had a better 4-month run than Keith Lee right now.
And I feel like what's interesting, too, is it's like, they keep putting him in these positions. Like, this is clearly, like, Vince is, like, testing the waters.
Yeah.
Like, clearly likes this guy a lot, but still wants to keep seeing, like, if it's really there. Because they haven't brought him to Raw or SmackDown. They haven't rocket strapped the rocket ship to him the way they are, like, Drew McIntyre right now and stuff. It is definitely a little bit more subtle.
Right.
But it's subtle, like, let's put him in this big Survivor Series match and make him the main survivor.
it's subtle. Like, let's put him out there in the Royal Rumble and like have him go toe to toe with Brock Lesnar for 2 minutes. That's that's almost even bigger than having him on Raw beating jobbers for the last 3 months or something. So,
and what's so sick too, especially, is that you remember the run that Adam Cole went on before Survivor Series? That was a big thing. It's made you forget it to some degree,
right?
So, just saying.
No, it's like you said. Like, I think at the end of the day, when we look back at it, like, it's easy to say right now, and I'm still gonna go with my gut. Although I'm not gonna lie, I think you almost convinced me to go otherwise. But like, for right now, I think that the tag title change on AEW is gonna matter more for the long term. I think, and again, if Keith Lee ends up losing the North American title in 2 weeks, then really that's all for nothing. That was pointless at that point.
I feel like immediate impact you have to go towards.
For immediate impact.
Wait, say it again. Wait, Mike, say one more time. Speak up.
Immediate impact
is AEW
because of the storyline that it involves.
Right, storyline. Right.
Long term, I think you have to lean towards
Keith Lee.
Right.
And it kind of, and that will also depend, like I said, on what they do with it next. Like, if he gets like a 6-month title reign full of like great title matches and a good feud or two, like this could end up really being like that thing you look back on and saying, oh wow, like this is where it started. If he loses the title in 2 weeks back to Roderick Strong or Damian Priest or something, then it was kind of pointless, and like, who's even going to remember he won it for that 2 weeks?
Right.
Also, 4 minutes left on this topic. Who beats Omega and Page to win the tag titles?
The Bucks.
I was going to say that too.
Okay, if I'm fantasy booking it, you have the Bucks do it because Omega turns on Page during the match, right? Like, I mean, that's what you do. That's just what you do.
I'm with you too. I was going to say that as well. Good job.
Nice. See, great minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go with the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny, and the Candle.
Oh, Jesus Lord! Come on, stop that.
Because I almost want a heel team, whether it's them or Proud and Powerful or Lucha Bros to win. Because eventually, when Cody's done with MJF, if they're not going to put the world title on Dustin Rhodes, then why not have Cody and Dustin have a title run as the Rhodes brothers?
But see, that still works because, like, if you're turning the Bucks heel when they win the titles, and then Cody's going to be mad at them anyway.
No, of course. But I'm saying, I would almost, if you're going to do it, I mean, unless you're doing it and then, like, we're talking Cody and Dustin don't get a run for the next, like, however long, because the Bucks are going to win it and they're going to have a long title run. They're not going to lose them, like, 2 weeks later.
True, but that could be a really good feud for them to, like, Cody and Dustin don't need to win the belts, but it's a good feud for the Bucks to have. And that's really naturally built in then, because Cody obviously going to be mad that, like, Kenny and the Bucks decided to kind of screw over the Elite or whatever it was, Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm good from this topic. Anybody else want to add?
I think that's about it.
MVPs?
I'll go first for my MVP because I don't know. Oh, okay. You know what? I feel like one of you guys is going to choose the person I was just thinking, so I'm going to give it to Bianca.
Damn it! That's me. I was going to choose that too. Damn it!
Yeah. It was either her or Drew. Drew McIntyre, and I felt like you guys were probably going to go with Drew McIntyre. So
no, it was Bianca, dude.
Oh wow!
Great performance tonight on Royal Rumble.
She looked like a superstar. She looked like $1 million. Like, I want to see her fight for a title at WrestleMania.
Like, looking the part.
Yes.
Yes. Mike?
So your official pick is Bianca Belair?
Absolutely, yeah. Jeez, Joe, you stole mine too. Jeez.
I have cameras hidden in your house, and Mike has the trash can standing by for every time.
We're in Houston.
Yes.
We're in Houston.
Yes.
Okay. So before the show, I told Joe, I said I thought it would have been cool if all of us picked Kobe Bryant as our MVP, but because we talked about him, I'm not going to go with Kobe. I guess because you guys took Bianca, I will take the winner of the men's Royal Rumble. I will take the Scottish Psychopath. I will take Drew McIntyre as my MVP of this week's show, with an honorable mention going to the new North American champion.
Love it. All right. So, again, you follow Mike on Twitter at They Call Me Bern, BERN on Twitter. Joe Lopez has a Twitter, but he's not going to share with you. Who cares? Burner accounts and all. I'm on Twitter, of course, at EachChrisTim7. Again, salute to Kobe Bryant, the legend, the Mamba. I am out. Get some sleep now, guys. No show next week.
What?
No show next week.
We're not even going to record on Saturday?
Saturday. I don't know. I don't know if we could do Saturday. We'll discuss it.
I mean, I only told you that 3 times last night at the draft.
We'll figure it out.
I'll say I don't know. We'll see. We'll get back to you. I don't know if
We'll
we'll be
keep
home or
the
not.
streak alive. We'll figure it out.
We'll try it. We'll try it. But we'll see what we can do. We're on a roll.
Show, this thing's going to fucking deteriorate. Watch.
We're not missing it. We'll do this.
All right, gentlemen. We'll see what we can do next week, hopefully. But till then, take the rest of the podcast on Twitter, all that. Later, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.